jobs because of a disability. So she started her own company, Collette's Cookies, that has now sold over 700,000 cookies. And guess what? She employs 15 people. This week, in honor of World Down Syndrome Day, she went to Capitol Hill to share her story and represent adults with Down syndrome. Collette and her mom, Rosemary, join us now. It's so great to have you both on. We just love having you on and having you back here. By the way, Collette's Cookies are now in like grocery stores. It's an amazing entrepreneur story, regardless of the fact that she has Down syndrome. So I'm going to start with you, Collette. You went to Capitol Hill. What was your message to Congress?
Washington was a message. I was so honored. To be the speaker. I was able to share my story and talk about things important to me.
Yeah.
I spoke about the substitute mom with law and how it needs to end. It is ridiculous.
Yes.
I also talked. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought.
What's that? Sorry.
Finish your thought, Collette. Go ahead.
Yeah. I also talked about elephant account and how how I was able to save money and how to start my own company.
You know,
it is unfair, and the people with disabilities deserve equal pay. I hire people with disabilities, and they are incredible employees.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're just an inspiration to so many people, and I know other people with challenges are looking to you, and I'm so glad you went to Capitol Hill. I mean, those are exactly the people who need to hear this message. Rosemary, so much of what Collette's been able to accomplish, and you and I have talked before, I kind of consider you a mentor of sorts. As soon as I had Valentina and I got to meet you, I wanted to know how to help my own child have the kind of success yours did. What's your advice? I mean, right now there's a lot of moms out there who have this diagnosis, are wondering if their child can be as successful. What's your message to them and also to Congress?
Yeah, well, first of all, I think there are a lot of people in Congress that actually have children that also have disabilities, and there's quite a few that have children that have Down syndrome. And I think the more that the politicians can come together, the more that we can move things forward for these kids, because the problem really is the stigma. And I would even say to parents, like, don't be afraid to let go a little bit, because I did that with Collette, and a lot of people shunned down on me and said, I don't think she realizes her daughter's Down syndrome. I don't think she realizes her daughter's disabled. And I never really looked at Collette like that, because I have two other children. I looked at Collette as if she's got strengths and she's got weaknesses, just like my other two children. And so you face things differently. And I think just believing in Collette and not going through the system thinking that this is set up for her, but saying, I know her better than everybody else. What are her needs? And one of the biggest things I would say is that when Collette was in high school, a lot of her curriculum was one-on-one. And so that kind of defeats the whole inclusion law that's out there, but the inclusion law was never really completed and finished. So putting Collette in a classroom for biology honors and in the back room with an aide, working on a worksheet from third grade is not inclusion. If anything, that debilitated Collette. So I had no choice but to pull her out of inclusion and have her do one-on-one and her core curriculum was all based on living today on your own. It wasn't based on textbooks and earth science. It was based on a little politics, a little weather, a little science. What does she need to know? Her anatomy, what's happening in the world, safety. It was all based on that. So
it was all based on practical things so that she could learn to live independently. I think that's one of the interesting things, Rosemary, that a lot of people don't realize about Collette. She lives by herself. She lives down the street from you. I understand her house is nicer than yours, no offense, Rosemary, but she is a businesswoman. She's doing quite well, so I think that both of you send a very positive message. They do need help. They can succeed, but we need to be very I guess, intentional about how we're helping them in ways that are practical, that can lead to their success. I know I'm inspired by both of you, because this is a team effort to get Collette to be who she was meant to be. It takes a great family, and it takes a system that actually values them from the womb all the way into the workplace. And so I'm so grateful to both of you for joining us. You can support Collette's business, by the way. Go to Collette's.com. She's sold over 400,000 cookies. It's an amazing, thing. And we're just so glad you're here, Collette, and we're so happy to see this example of a family, of a team, valuing every single member of the family, because God sent you here. Thank you so much.
Exactly.
God bless you all.
Rachel. It's good to see you.
Nice to see you.
Good seeing you too. All right, take care. Now to this.
You too.
Former President Trump